Welcome back to 10-Minute Timelines. If you enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Winston Churchill's path to becoming Prime Minister was long and tumultuous. Born into a prominent aristocratic family in 1874, he embarked on a career marked by both triumph and adversity. As a young army officer, he witnessed the brutality of war, serving in India, Sudan, and the Second Boer War. Elected to Parliament in 1900, he quickly established himself as a formidable orator. Throughout the 1930s, Churchill emerged as a lone voice against the policy of appeasement pursued by Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain. He denounced the Munich Agreement of 1938, which ceded the Sudetenland to Germany. "You were given the choice between war and dishonour," he famously declared. "You chose dishonour and you will have war." Neville Chamberlain's premiership was dominated by the looming threat of another devastating war in Europe. Haunted by the horrors of the First World War, Chamberlain was determined to avoid a repeat of such a conflict. His belief in diplomacy led him down a path of appeasement, with profound and tragic consequences. Chamberlain's efforts culminated in the Munich Agreement in September 1938. This agreement ceded the Sudetenland to Germany and was hailed as a triumph for peace. Chamberlain returned to cheering crowds, declaring peace for our time. However, the agreement proved hollow. Hitler's appetite for conquest was far from satiated. In March 1939, Hitler invaded the remainder of Czechoslovakia. This act shattered any remaining illusions about Hitler's intentions. Chamberlain, his credibility shattered, faced the grim reality of inevitable war. The outbreak of war in September 1939 marked a turning point in history. Germany's invasion of Poland, a sovereign nation whose security was assured by Britain and France, shattered the fragile peace that had prevailed since the end of the First World War. Great Britain and France, bound by their treaty obligations, declared war on Germany, marking the beginning of the Second World War. The early months of the war were characterized by a sense of eerie calm, a period known as the Phony War. However, this deceptive lull was shattered in the spring of 1940, when Germany unleashed its full military might upon Western Europe. Denmark and Norway fell in rapid succession, followed by a lightning-fast invasion of the Low Countries, Belgium, the Netherlands and Luxembourg. France, once considered the mightiest military power in Europe, crumbled under the weight of the German onslaught. The fall of France in June 1940 sent shockwaves through Britain and the world. With the continent of Europe now firmly under Nazi control, Britain stood alone against the Nazi war machine. The fate of the free world rested precariously on the shoulders of the British people and their leaders. As the cataclysmic events of May 1940 unfolded, it became painfully clear that Neville Chamberlain's premiership was untenable. The disastrous Norwegian campaign, coupled with the rapidly deteriorating situation in France, had eroded his support within Parliament and among the British public. On May 10, 1940, following the German invasion of the Low Countries, Chamberlain resigned as Prime Minister, leading to Winston Churchill's appointment as his successor. Churchill's appointment as Prime Minister marked a watershed moment in British history. Here was a leader who, unlike Chamberlain, harboured no illusions about the true nature of the Nazi threat. Churchill's wartime leadership would be defined by his unwavering resolve, his inspirational rhetoric, and his profound belief in the ultimate triumph of freedom over tyranny. Upon assuming office, Churchill formed a wartime coalition government, uniting members of all major political parties under his leadership. This act of national unity sent a powerful message to both the British people and to the enemy. Britain was united in its determination to resist Nazi aggression, no matter the cost. Churchill's first address to the House of Commons as Prime Minister, delivered on May 13, 1940, remains one of the most iconic speeches in British history. In this brief but powerful address, Churchill laid bare the stark realities of the situation facing Britain. "I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears and sweat," he declared. There would be no easy victories, no quick fixes. The road ahead would be long and arduous, demanding immense sacrifice from every man, woman and child in Britain. Churchill's words, delivered with his trademark eloquence and conviction, galvanised the British people. His message was clear: Britain would fight on, whatever the odds, until victory was achieved. There would be no surrender, no compromise with the forces of tyranny. Throughout the war, Churchill's speeches served as a beacon of hope and inspiration, not only for the British people, but for people around the world who yearned for freedom. His words, broadcast over the airwaves, rallied the spirits of those living under Nazi occupation and stiffened the resolve of Britain's allies. Churchill's premiership was not merely defined by his words, but by his decisive actions. Upon assuming office, he immediately set about bolstering Britain's defences, mobilising the nation's industrial might for total war. Factories that once produced consumer goods were retooled to manufacture tanks, planes and other weapons of war. Recognising the vital importance of air power in the conflict, Churchill prioritised the production of fighter aircraft and the training of skilled pilots. The Royal Air Force, under the leadership of Air Chief Marshal Hugh Dowding, would play a pivotal role in the Battle of Britain, a pivotal air campaign that would determine the fate of the free world. Churchill also understood the importance of maintaining morale on the home front. Rationing was introduced to ensure the equitable distribution of essential goods, while propaganda posters and films sought to boost morale and promote a spirit of national unity. The early years of Churchill's premiership were marked by a series of daunting challenges. The Battle of Britain, fought in the skies over southern England in the summer and fall of 1940, tested the resolve of the British people as never before. However, despite being heavily outnumbered, the RAF, through a combination of skill, courage and technological superiority, prevailed against the Luftwaffe, dealing Hitler his first major defeat of the war. The Battle of Britain marked a turning point in the war, demonstrating that Hitler's forces were not invincible. It also bought Britain valuable time to rebuild its forces and forge crucial alliances. In 1941, following the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7th, the United States declared war on Japan. Shortly thereafter, Germany declared war on the United States, leading America to join Britain and the other Allied powers in the fight against the Axis powers. The entry of the United States into the war proved to be decisive. The vast industrial and military might of the United States, combined with the unwavering resolve of the British people and the sacrifices of the Soviet Union on the Eastern Front, gradually turned the tide of the war in favour of the Allies. Winston Churchill's legacy as a wartime leader is secure. His unwavering courage, his inspirational rhetoric, and his steadfast belief in the ultimate triumph of freedom over tyranny inspired millions and helped to guide the Allied powers to victory in the Second World War. Churchill's wartime leadership left an indelible mark on Britain and the world. He is remembered as one of the greatest wartime leaders of the 20th century, a symbol of resilience, determination, and the indomitable spirit of freedom. His speeches continue to resonate with audiences today, reminding us of the importance of courage, resolve, and the enduring power of hope in the face of adversity. Winston Churchill's journey from outspoken backbencher to wartime Prime Minister is a testament to the unpredictable nature of history and the enduring power of the human spirit. His leadership during Britain's darkest hour serves as a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, courage, determination, and an unyielding belief in a just cause can ultimately prevail. As we navigate the complexities of the 21st century, Churchill's legacy continues to inspire, urging us to confront challenges with the same unwavering resolve and to safeguard the hard-won freedoms that define our world.